Thanks so much for tuning into this episode of Waste to Wealth. We sure do appreciate it. If you haven't done so already, make sure you connect with us on social media and subscribe to the show wherever you consume podcasts. If you feel so inclined, please leave us a review and tell a friend about the show. Until next time.
Good morning, Michael.
Hey, good morning, Mike. How you doing?
How you doing? I'm doing well, man. How are you?
Awesome. I'm doing excellent. Good to see you.
You as well, man. Yeah, been looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too. Sorry about the rescheduling.
No, dude, life happens. It's cool.
Yeah, yeah, I was traveling and yeah, I just decided I was on an audit, so I
Oh,
decided I shouldn't have had my calendar open. So sorry about that. Yeah,
dude, it's all good. Yeah, I'm sure. Especially like around the 15th, it was probably pretty crazy.
it was super crazy, but we got everything done by the deadline, everything we could.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, some stuff doesn't really get figured out, but at least you get most of the way there.
Right, exactly. Well, man, so I didn't send any questions ahead of time,
Yeah,
but
I noticed that. Thanks. You're going to go put me on the fly, huh?
yeah, exactly. No, I don't have any like trap questions or anything like that. I just really want to hear your story, how you help people, that kind of thing. I do have some questions.
Okay,
Um, I'll
cool.
just post my questions in the chat here, and I'll um, that way you do have them. Sorry, I
I mean,
didn't.
hey, man, if I'm just winging it, I'm just winging it. That's fine. I'm gonna have to
Yeah, but this is the kind of
figure it out.
I want to talk to you about.
All
So
right.
more about you. Um,
Yeah.
but when we officially start recording, I'll talk about the podcast a little bit. So
I'm just trying to read through it really quick.
yeah, and there's no pressure. This is a safe place.
It's always a safe place until it gets posted.
Yeah. The idea is we both get to create content and
Yeah.
help our customers out.
Yeah, and just, I think it's cool that, we can kind of use it to kind of like double dip a little bit,
Yeah,
right?
right,
And like obviously my followers probably don't know who you are. Your
right.
followers probably don't know who I am. So it
Yeah.
works out well that way.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it helps me refine my like what's valuable um to people.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I don't some of the questions you might not like it. If you don't like a question, you can modify
I
it.
don't I don't dislike any question, man. I'm just trying to think in my head where I want to go with some of them.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll give you a second.
So do you record this and then chop it up later? Is
Yeah,
that how
so
it works?
it's recording right now.
Right.
And I just like to let the whole thing run. And then at the end, I'll give you a copy of this. You'll have this exact recording we have right here.
Okay.
And
Cool.
then Sebastian is my podcast.
Right.
His team helps me with the editing. So,
Cool.
and
Well, I just noticed like I did one with
Elsner.
Blake Elsner the other day,
Yeah,
and I just noticed there was different platforms being used and stuff. So I was like, oh man, this is getting crazy.
right. He has a cool one. He's got like because I joined him once. He's got
It's like
like
a live show.
right. That's what he acts like. So he's way more formal than I am. And not way more.
I I wonder if that's one of those platforms where like if you wanted to tune in live, you could like
Oh,
chat in with what's going on.
oh, probably.
I don't know.
I'm certainly not to that level yet.
Hey man, it was a fun time though. I'll tell you that he's a cool guy.
Good. Well, so to tell you about the target audience for my podcast, it's waste to wealth,
Mhm.
and waste haulers are the people that I'm trying to talk to. Like I'll have a junk hauler on here next week, and where that's relevant for you is those are small business owners
Right.
and self-employed people primarily. So they have different needs than the consumers do, very different needs.
So would you say like a big need might be like cash flow, making sure you're not underbidding projects
Mhm.
or contracts, and then maybe like funding for large equipment purchases, stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
The pricing is they normally have to do their pricing. They don't really go after a lot of contracts that people
Okay.
have. So they have to adjust to the market for their pricing. But they probably need like you do wealth management, right? Is that your primary?
Yeah.
So these guys would probably be able to attract more talent if they had 401k plans,
Mhm.
or when they have profits, they should put them into retirement plans or some kind of investment vehicle. Uh,
Right.
that and
Cool.
so, I imagine those are the kind of problems you like to talk about.
Bro, I'm all over the place. I like talking about so the biggest thing for me, um, it's not as much nuts and bolts as you may think, right? Because everybody can everybody has access to this information now.
Right.
So so where we've kind of differentiated ourselves and made our value prop, if you will, is on the psychological side,
Really?
the
It's like
behavioral management.
so they actually well, I guess we could talk about this live on the podcast that way.
Yeah, whatever you want. Yeah, it's the one thing that I talk about the most is the behavioral side of things because I get people out of their own way, right?
Right.
Sometimes like I covered with Blake was like that shift from that scarcity mindset to abundance,
Yeah.
right? And then there's a lot of other things as far as like just getting to that point of empowerment and stop making moves scared, you
Right.
know?
Okay. Well, let's jump into it. Let's launch it.
Yeah,
Just
sure.
well,
Let's
uh,
roll it. If it sucks, we'll cut it out, right?
exactly, exactly. But I want to make sure I say your name right. Is it Tucher?
It's not. That's okay though. It's Tutcher.
Tutcher, Tutcher. Okay.
Yeah, you have to go with the whatever you think is going to be inappropriate, that's the version.
Touching. And then
Yeah.
Main Street Financial Group, is that your
hmm
company?
hmm
Perfect.
So it's my father and I, we're partners. He's the one who founded the company, and I got into the business because I grew up around it.
Awesome.
And yeah, I guess we can kind of touch on that a little bit
Yeah.
if you want to.
That's how I'll kick it off. So um I'll just kick it off in three, two, and one. Hey, welcome to Waste to Wealth, and I'm Michael McCall, and I've got Mike Tutcher here with Main Street Financial Group, and I'm excited to have him as a guest here. And so, Mike, we're going to talk about how your services match up with waste haulers, who are primarily business owners and self-employed individuals, and things that maybe all people could benefit from. So, welcome to the show.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you having me.
Yeah. So tell me, how did you get into, tell me about your business, and then we can talk about how you got into it.
So we're a financial services wealth management company. Our parent company is Raymond James, so we have a great partnership through, a larger organization as well. How I got into it, man, it's kind of in the blood. It's the family business. My dad's been in the business for I want to say 33 or 34 years now.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So growing up around that and seeing the impact that you can actually make on people was really cool.
Mm,
I can't say I had that level of maturity right out the gate. Of course, the first thing that you look at is like, hey, dad's doing pretty well financially. Maybe I want to do that, right? And
and
so
he's all,
that's
was he also
uh,
happy? Because that's a big part of it too. Like he must have enjoyed his work.
yeah, he definitely enjoyed serving people. Don't get me wrong, there's stress involved with every job, right? Especially when you really commit to something like you blood, sweat, and tears for the people that you serve. Yeah, you're gonna have some times of stress and unhappiness, but it's for a purpose.
Mhm,
You're serving those people. So I was able to see how he really committed to service
mhm,
and how that translated to helping other people become successful on, when it comes to achieving their financial plans, along their financial journey. So that was super inspiring to me. Um, I saw it from a distance for years, obviously as a kid growing up, but then whenever I was like going to college and trying to find some sort of experience in the workforce and what the hell am I going to do with my life? and and then I started to actually hear from those clients where they would take time to tell me how much of an impact
mhm.
he has made on their life and how yeah, again, they literally took the time to tell me, some dumbass kid that's his son, that listen, if it wasn't for the work that your dad did for me, I wouldn't live the same life that I live today. And like
Wow.
that was cool, man.
Yeah.
I was really proud
Mhm,
uh you know to know that my dad was doing that type of work. So then it turned into like, all right, well, what skills do I bring to the table where I feel like I can actually contribute and also do this.
Right. Yeah. So, what are the problems that you solve for your clients? I imagine there's a whole bunch of things that you have to deal with.
Yeah. So a lot of people, the first thing they think of is, okay, you're a financial planner. We're
Mhm.
going to sit down, you get your age, when you want to retire, how much money you have, and then you kind of like assess a risk tolerance and all that fun stuff.
Mhm.
And then computer spits out a number for you, and this financial planner is going to keep you on track.
Mhm.
Truth is, nobody's going to keep you on track if you don't behave appropriately,
Makes
right?
sense. Yeah.
I could put together the best plan for you, best allocation. None of that freaking matters if you don't listen.
So it's about the more about the person and what they do than like what you put on paper.
Absolutely. Yes, we want to have a plan on paper. That's a
Mhm.
great concrete piece of thing that we can kind of hold ourselves to. But staying true to the plan is the true difficulty,
Yeah.
right? That's the test.
Mhm.
How much do you really want it? Are you going to be able to, weather those storms and stay true to it in the scary ass times like COVID and market pullbacks, tariffs, this and that? It's all going to happen, and you're going to have a million reasons on the news telling you to sell.
Right. Yeah, and not just on the news, but on the street. Like
Yeah,
there's so many people that can create gossip and rumors. So in the waste hauling industry, there's a lot of people that enter the game, and when you have a new player join the game, it freaks people out. So like you might have to adjust to price changes and competitors trying to undercut you or badmouth you, and that really eats away at your psyche. So that's
I'm
part
sure
of
of it.
staying on
Let's,
track.
so how much do competitors talk bad about each other? Is that a big thing in that
It can
industry?
it can be sometimes actually sometimes these business owners can be like little girls, gossiping on the playground where
Well,
they're picking up stuff or they'll take a rumor and they'll run with it, you know.
yeah, when you're focusing on gossip and stuff, that means you got too much free time on your hands,
Right. Yeah.
right? Like if you're busy working, you're busy being productive and driving value to the people that you serve, you don't really have time for all that.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of things that can scare business owners. One of them is competitors. One of
Mhm.
them is maybe like waste hauling. We have places we have to bring our waste somewhere, disposal sites. If
Right.
those change, it changes the whole game. And equipment's huge. So
Mhm.
if you're buying trucks and the trucking market gets really in high demand, then it's hard to get a truck. Like so talking about COVID time, trucks became really hard to come by. Like the price is like up 30% in it immediately.
Wow.
So you had to decide if you're going to finance more, which is more risk, or if you're going to fix more trucks. So
Right. 'Cause I'm sure some of that's sensitive to interest rates as well when you're looking at financing equipment and
right.
vehicles. I'm sure that makes it pretty tough.
Yeah, yeah, really, really difficult. And everyone's got to have their finances in order to borrow, keep their bank.
Yes.
Healthy. And there's this like weird balance between, I have to make my financials to look good so the bank will give me money, but that means I'm probably going to pay more in taxes, and I don't want to do that. Uh,
Right.
so it's a game you have to play, and that's just another layer of psychological warfare you have to go through. So how do you keep, how do you help people stay on track to that plan where they don't freak out and either self-implode their business by selling things or
Mhm.
reacting in a scared way? Like, is there things you tell your clients?
Well, if the first thing is just realizing like the headlines change, sure,
Hmm.
but this time is never really different,
Mm.
right? The
Yeah.
things that we have endured as a society and the market here in the United States, it's not going to get any worse. And if it does, you're not going to be worried about the money that you have in the market. I promise you.
Right. If it gets
Like,
worse.
like
Yeah.
you're going to be thinking about what do you have stockpiled as far as food and weapons and ammunition,
Hmm.
the ability to make clean water. That's
Right.
what you're going to be worried about if it really hits the fan.
Hmm.
So, it's about being able to give proper historical context, right? And coaching through things. Maybe showing somebody um, an example of where we were in the market at this time, where we are now, and why we're so much better off But if you didn't withstand that storm,
Hmm.
where would you be?
Right.
I know it's kind of like a vague way to explain it,
Mhm.
but if you don't sit out or if you don't sit in the storm, right, and just know that it's like you use, for instance, with the buffalo analogy,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
I know all about that. You got to
Right.
run through the storm,
Yep. Face.
and if you're going to run away from it, you're going to be in that downpour a whole lot longer.
That's right.
And that is true in everything in life,
Hmm.
but especially when it comes to this, especially when it comes to your financial future.
Right.
It's, dude, you're going to have bad days,
Hmm.
but being able to identify that there is a real difference between risk and volatility.
Hmm.
Okay? Volatility is not risk.
Right.
It's just that those daily movements, those weekly movements, monthly movements. But on the long run, that's not super risky,
Yeah.
right? If you're 40 years old and you're checking your retirement account every day, you do not understand the difference between risk and volatility.
Yeah, you actually, I want the volatility because
Right.
that's where there's more opportunity.
Absolutely. You want to be able to buy things on those discounts,
Right.
but but the best way to do it is taking the emotion out of it, right?
Mm.
Set up something systematically where you're dollar cost averaging on a regular basis,
Mhm.
where I believe somebody can prove this mathematically is you could technically outperform your own investments.
Hmm. You mean through dollar cost averaging, you
Yeah.
mean? Huh.
Well,
Wonder
because
how does
if you
that?
think about it, you're always buying the most efficient level of shares at the time. So if it's uh you know up in price at the moment, you're still spending the same amount. So you're
Right.
buying less of it.
Yep.
Okay.
You're automatically buying less when it's high.
But if it's on sale, aka down, you're
Uh,
buying more of that, right?
mhm.
You're using the same amount of money but buying more shares. So, if you get lucky and you're able to get it on a couple of those dips, you might be able to even outperform what you own.
How many people call you up when the market drops and say, "Hey, I want to sell my shares. The market's going down."
About
Do people
two?
react that way?
No, typically no. They we do a pretty good job of just taking it on people who really buy into philosophy,
Okay.
right?
Mhm.
We're not a firm that's going to take on people just because you have a couple zeros in the account, right? It's about buy-in, because if you don't buy in, and have to spend a lot of time or unnecessary time
Yeah.
holding your hand,
Hmm.
you're taking away my ability to serve the people who do buy in,
Yeah, sure. Does that go
right?
to that mindset you were telling me about? Like,
Absolutely.
people have to have the right mindset?
Yeah, but I don't expect it to, you just understand that volatility isn't risk, right? I don't expect you to start with that.
Sure.
That's where we drive the value, is
Hmm.
through the coaching. What I need is you to be growth oriented, growth in your mindset, um, capitalist. That's pretty huge.
Yeah.
Um, and at the end of the day, just being able to see the world through an optimistic lens. Because
Hmm.
if you're pessimistic, you're going to see the negative crap in everything.
Yeah, it'll freak you out.
I don't have time for that.
Right.
Right.
So I like how you say volatility is different than risk. I have this bad way of personally expressing my philosophy on things. And I told someone, I can't remember what their I guess they were a business advisor. And I told him that I was pro risk, like wherever there was something scary and risky, that was the direction I wanted to head in because everyone else is running away from it. And he that freaked him out because if you're going after risk, that's dangerous. And so that's probably not quite what I mean because risk is there's things that are a high risk, high reward, and there's low risk, low reward. I'm really looking for those opportunities where people are just afraid because they don't understand, right? So there's kind of like calculated risk.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hmm.
Yeah, there's calculated risk, but there is also something that's inherent about like human nature, where if there's pain,
Yeah.
well, there's going to be something to gain from it in the future.
Hmm.
right? They
I
say
like
no
how,
pain, no
like when
gain. That's
yeah, building muscles.
yeah, it's a lot like that. But instead of being in the gym and getting those micro tears in your muscles
Hmm.
to then build up, bigger, faster, stronger, whatever your goal is,
Yeah.
what we have to endure is the psychological toll
Hmm.
of withstanding the volatility, right? Volatility is the psychological price that we pay for superior long run returns.
Oh, say that again. Risk is what is that?
Volatility.
Volatility.
Volatility
Yeah.
is the psychological price that we pay for superior long run returns.
Wow. So if you can handle the ups and downs, then you're gonna, in the long run, you're gonna be way far ahead.
Yeah, I mean, there's nuances to that. Obviously, you want to be very diversified. You
Hmm.
want to be, not, anytime you're concentrated in particular stocks and you're not being actively managed, yeah, you things can go wrong for sure.
Yeah.
But if you're smart about it, you're in actively managed investments, you're diversified, it really just comes down to discipline at that point.
Hmm. Yeah, discipline. That makes sense. So in steel, the price of steel is a big deal for the waste haulers. Like dumpsters
Right.
are steel, trucks are steel. And so when the steel market is really high and expensive, everything costs more. And so if you can hold out and pay attention to the steel market and then wait until it drops, then everything will be on sale suddenly. And then that's when you have to take advantage and buy. Um, so in that case, volatility can be your friend if you know the market, if you understand
Yeah, absolutely.
and save up in time when you're going to make purchases. Because you don't want to just buy equipment every, like, let's say every May or something like that, right before you go into the summer, because sometimes the market will be like against you during that.
Right.
You got to buy when it's the right time.
Yeah, and try to be a little forward looking, right? If it's not a bad time to buy equipment, but it's also not the worst time, you have to kind of look forward to when your needs are going to be too,
Right.
right? If you have some equipment that's a little on the older side
Hmm.
and rates are really good, steel's really good right now as far as price goes,
Yeah.
maybe you don't need it today, but it might be a good idea, right?
Right.
To just kind of be forward looking, be planning,
Hmm.
um, and then also understanding, maybe what your borrowing options are
Hmm.
down the road, and that okay, maybe the price of steel goes up a little bit, but your borrowing ability could be in a better position at that time, so it really doesn't matter.
Right. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Huh. Well, I'm curious about your development as an entrepreneur yourself. When I first went into business, I had all these I guess you'd call it uninformed optimism, where I just thought certain things are going to be great, and I said people that do it this way are dumb. And then I got some experience and got some scars, and now I have a different understanding. Are there any things in your journey that you've changed your mind on, or that you've learned through your
Oh
experience?
man, yeah, my mindset shifted a lot, man. You really have to get to the point where, and I know nobody's listening to this because they don't want to make money,
Mm,
right?
right.
And I'd be lying if I said I enjoy the idea of doing any work for free.
Mm-hmm.
But it's this idea where you have to be so much more concerned with serving and driving value than anything else. And that, if you have faith, whether that be in God or the universe, karma,
Hmm.
for me, it's God.
Hmm.
And I believe when I make those deposits and I am a good steward of the talents that He's given me,
Yeah.
that, the business comes
Hmm.
and that you don't have to worry about what you're going to make on a deal because He will provide.
Hmm.
And so it became an alignment of not just business, but my spiritual beliefs
Yeah.
on how to operate,
Hmm.
because otherwise on a daily basis you just carry around so much stress that no amount of money is going to be worth it.
Hmm.
So when you shift the focus from being profit driven, money driven to being, service driven, value driven, and figuring out how to solve problems for people,
Yeah.
right? That's the best way to drive value. When you focus on that, man, it's amazing how much better you do financially.
Right. Yeah, so I'm a really strong Christian, and my verse of the year is Luke 6:38. And in that verse, Jesus says, he's kind of like, don't worry about my disciples, you're all worried about how are we going to thrive. And he says, give first, and then everything you possibly want, you're going to get back. Like,
Mhm.
no, don't have the focus as you, have the focus as giving. And then if you change people's lives, there's so much abundance that comes with that. And I think you're a guy that understands the difference between abundance and scarcity. And maybe you can talk a little bit about that and your philosophy around how to create that.
Well, it all it all starts from a place where like you're not to blame for that scarcity mindset, right? We come up very differently about around, maybe our family, our parents, our friends, and for lack of better terms, even if you have money or not, most of us are broke
Hmm.
because we don't have the right mindset. And a lot of people invest with that mindset. They're scared. They keep too much money in cash. They miss a lot of opportunities. So being scared and thinking that you're always going to lose and that if somebody else wins, that you can't also win, it's not healthy.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, so if I think that I can only win if you lose, that makes for a horrible society, right?
Well, then again, going back to being believers, right? It's you're telling me that if I win, you have to lose. You don't understand how great my God is,
Right. He's
right?
got for all of us, right? There's plenty for all of us.
You don't understand how great he is. You don't understand how big the world is.
Hmm.
Like there's plenty to go around
Yeah.
and he will provide.
Hmm.
So when you have this scarcity mindset, it's kind of an admission of your lack of faith.
Mm, yeah, right. Yeah, you're not really putting your trust in the creator of the whole world. You're normally I'm putting if I have that scarcity mindset, I'm putting that trust in myself, and I'm like, man, I can't do all this. How am I supposed to thrive?
Right.
And it's because my focus is on me and not on what God's created and helping other people, really.
Yeah,
So,
because it's faith in, the evidence. It's
mhm.
faith in a plan. It's faith in philosophy. But at the end of the day, all of those things are just evidence of your faith in our creator.
Yeah. Well, I love it, man. So you got a lot of customers. Um, And I bet you've learned some things from your customers over the years. Are there any particular memorable events that you had that you'll never forget?
I mean, I got a few. I'm not sure how many are appropriate to share. No, no, but going back to the mindset shift, um, and I talk about it a lot, but it's really cool to see people change
Mhm.
um how they operate financially when they start to become empowered.
Okay. Like
Eh,
what do you mean by empowered? Like they feel like they have more options?
Knowing that the money that they work so hard for
Mhm.
is a tool.
Okay.
It's not an answer,
Hmm.
right? So they know that no matter how much money they make, they're going to have problems,
Yeah.
right? But
Money
now
the
we
problem.
have experience fixing those problems,
Hmm.
and that as you acquire more wealth, life does get a little easier sometimes if you know how to fix those problems.
Sure.
If you don't, and and you don't feel empowered with the money that you made, you're still a slave to the money. You're still a slave to the system.
Hmm.
So sometimes being able to go through the hard times, just like in any other part of life, right?
Hmm.
Going through the hard times really teaches you what you need to be able to, use funds, use the money that you work so hard for to give yourself a better life, to be able to solve problems for your family, be able to solve problems for your clients, the people that you serve, whatever it may be. You know, it's cool to see that shift
Hmm.
from what will I do if, what happens if, do I have enough money if, to okay, this could happen, but if it does, we'll figure it out because that's what we do.
Yeah. We solve problems, right?
Right. It's exactly it. We solve problems, and the Lord didn't take me this far to just take me this far.
Hmm.
So whatever's in front of me, we'll figure it out. If I don't personally know how to do it, I've got a network that can figure it out. I've
Right.
got people that I can lean on. I got coaches, I got connections. So seeing people graduate through those different levels is really freaking cool. It's really rewarding to be able to think that I contributed something to that.
Yeah.
Um, and it's just it's super cool to see.
That's awesome. Well, it makes me think more about the mindset and how, talking about being Christian, at the beginning of our journey as a Christian, we don't have anything figured out, right? We actually, that's the realization that I have nothing figured out. I can't do anything on my own. And when I became a Christian and got baptized, that was like the beginning of my journey of understanding. And then my whole life is spent trying to live for God. I feel like we need to do that in more than just our spiritual life. Like in the business life, you don't get things solved until your mindset changes and you understand, hey, I'm not putting the right solutions in. It's like, to put it in a dollar term, before you become a millionaire, it starts in your brain, your mind. You don't just manifest $1 million. You become the right kind of person to handle wealth, and then that translates to your actions being the right actions, the relationships being healthy relationships.
Yeah, amazing. Absolutely. We really have to put in the work. It's almost like you have to earn the ability to graduate to the next level. You have to
Yeah.
endure certain things and have growth, a
Hmm.
mindset shift. I mean, I've got a teenage son right now,
Hmm.
and I'm sure you can imagine. I have to look back and go, I was that age once. What
Yeah.
did I know then? And
Right.
and God bless him, he's so much better than I was,
Hmm.
but it's still so difficult to look back on how little experience you have in life
Right.
and realize you don't have anything figured out. You think you do.
Yeah.
You think certain things really matter that don't.
Right.
You
But you
think
get
certain
it.
people's opinions matter that don't.
Mhm.
And it's through time, experience, and growth where those things change. And like, don't get me wrong, man. I'm sure I had fun when I was 16, but this is a really great life that I'm living because it's rewarding,
Hmm.
right? It's not shallow, surface level high school stuff. It's significance. And just like anything that's worth having, it's going to take a while. It's going to take hard work, and you have to gradually shift. Like
Hmm.
if you want to get stronger in the gym, you can't go straight to benching 315.
Right.
You have to prove to God, the universe, physics, and your body that you can handle 135 first.
Right.
Then you're going to graduate all the way up until you get 225. And you have to show that you can handle that
Hmm.
so much before you can even graduate to the next plate.
Right. Is that where you're at? Are you in 300s for your bench press?
Yeah,
Ugh.
you could say that. Yeah.
Excellent. I have mad respect. I've started getting into weightlifting because I'm trying to get stronger. I see you have a football on your shelf. Are you a football player?
I used to be. Yeah, I used to play some football back in the day. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. What position did you play?
Tight end, defensive end,
Oh man.
little outside linebacker.
Wow. So you both blocked people and tackled people. You did
Yeah, it
both.
was at different times. Yeah. Yeah,
Well,
I grew into things a little differently. So I know you can't really tell on a podcast, but I'm 6'5", about 265,
oh my gosh.
270.
Yeah, you're a
So
giant compared to
so when
me.
you asked if I can lift some weights, I'm like, yeah, a little bit.
No problem. No problem.
I
Um,
could probably do about 425 or so.
that's awesome. Did it take a long time to get up to that level?
Listen. If you would have seen me in high school, my
Mhm.
senior year even, you would have said, "There's no freaking way this dude's ever going to bench 400 pounds."
Wow.
Because I was the same height I am now, six
Mhm.
five, but I was 172 pounds.
Wow.
So
Huh.
just absolute string bean.
Yeah.
I
So
remember I
muscle.
remember not being able to bench 135.
Hmm.
I remember not being able to bench 95.
Wow. So you really have come a long way in your journey. So I have a
Slowly.
question about philosophy on weightlifting. So
Okay.
there's
I got a lot of them.
I've all right, so I'll tell you the little bit I know. And I started weightlifting this year, and so I would love to hear your thoughts. So Mike Mentzer is someone that I've heard about that is big was a big proponent of lift till you fail, like go to
Hmm.
failure and then recover like crazy.
Hmm.
And so like work out once, maybe tw twice a week probably. And then, so that's one side of the spectrum where you just lift really heavy, and once you fail, stop and then recover. It takes a lot of recover because you went to failure.
Right.
And then there's this other method, which is called grease the groove, where you exercise a lot, but you only do like 50, 60%. So you never burn out and you recover very fast. So you can work out like 3 times a day, no problem. So those are like the opposite ends of the spectrum. Do you ascribe to either of those, or do you have your own philosophy that you like for lifting?
So kind of a combination. So I don't believe that there is really truly such thing as overtraining.
Okay.
I think that there's such thing as under rest and under nutrition
Mm-hmm.
because our bodies are going to adapt.
Yeah.
So if you're super sore or you're not performing as well or you're really freaking tired, that's because your body isn't getting the things that you need,
Mm-hmm. You need to recover.
right? Yeah. So you need time off, you need to sleep, which
Hmm.
most of us don't do enough of. I know I definitely don't. So sleep and food, man, like and hydration. So that being number one, even before training, really, it's about the rest and the recovery. But like for me, I like to go to failure. I like to feel what it's like to push myself to that limit.
Yeah.
But you can only do it with a muscle group so often.
Hmm.
So I like to split my workouts up into you know, focuses for certain muscle groups, and then I really only hit them once a week.
Okay. So yeah, you go
So
to failure and then you recover. It takes a long time to recover.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The exception to that being legs. When I'm on my training, I like to do legs twice a week just because they're such big muscles.
They're huge.
Um, but as opposed to like just training 2 or 3 times a week,
Hmm.
I don't know about you. Maybe it's just me. I get freaking lazy.
Uh-huh.
So, they say object in motion stays in motion, object at rest stays at rest, right? So
Right.
if I'm in a routine of working out, 5, 6, 7 days a week, it's so much easier for me to just keep going.
Right.
It becomes part of who you are, part of your routine.
Mhm.
You don't think twice about it. You know what you're going to do.
Right. Yeah.
Whereas if I'm working out 2 or 3 times a week,
Hmm.
you know, it's a little tougher. I was telling my wife that the other day because I had a shoulder injury and I wanted to go back to training jujitsu.
Yeah. I
And
saw your pictures of jujitsu. Yeah.
yeah, so I got into it because my son's into it. My 10-year-old, he's super into it, so he kind of inspired me to do it.
Oh, wow.
Um,
Great.
but I'm either all in on lifting,
Uh-huh.
I'm all in on jujitsu, or I don't do anything.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
never found a way to be
Be
able to do
halfway.
both.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's been tough, but that's something I'm trying to adopt right now. But
I
uh,
I think I'm the same way, so I totally understand. So I've adopted exercise every day, regardless of what it is. I gotta do something every single day. And it's like giving me permission to just enjoy it. Whereas before I felt guilty if I had to leave and go to the gym and work out. Like, I gotta leave my family just to do this thing that no one else is gonna be part of. But now if I've decided it's part of my identity, and it makes a big difference if you say I exercise every day or I lift heavy once a week or twice a week, like just making it part of you, right?
yeah, you make it a part of you, but it's also about like what what you're telling yourself without saying anything,
Hmm.
right? Like you're saying, I do hard things.
Yeah, right.
I'm telling myself I do things even when I don't freaking feel like it,
Yeah. Who
right?
feels like working out every week, or lifting every single week? Yeah.
Man, I mean, there's days where I can't even figure out how I'm gonna get my shoes on and get to the gym,
Yeah.
but I do it anyways.
Hmm.
Do I enjoy any of it? The drive there, the workout, the cardio, the drive back? No.
Right.
Some days it's really bad.
Hmm.
Like what you're telling yourself by doing it anyways is you're stronger than your excuses. You're stronger than the, you know, distractions that come up in life, and that's stuff that we can apply to everything, whether that be your business,
Yeah.
staying true to the things that you need to do for your business, making those extra calls, those extra, runs, whatever it may be,
Hmm.
it needs to get done. So you're the type of person that's going to do it, and then if you have a family, yeah, it sucks when you're not home and you miss out on little things like family dinners or just little cute moments with your kids when they're super little, especially.
Yeah. I miss
You
those
miss
days. Yep.
Yeah, I'm fortunate. I'm getting to experience it right now because we have a 16, 10, and year and a half.
Oh, wow. That's quite the range.
Yeah, so I got my little baby girl now.
Sweet.
So I don't like not being home or
Yeah.
not being with my daughter and my wife.
Hmm.
Um, but I know working out, it's not just making me healthier.
Hmm.
I'm setting a standard of like, dude, this is what we do. Okay. We're not going to be lazy people who just sit around
Hmm.
and we do hard things.
We do hard things.
And
Right.
there's
Yeah.
nothing easy about balancing, a business, a household,
Hmm.
running kids around in different activities, you know, and then still finding time to go to the gym. It's really hard.
Right.
Sometimes I fail at it.
Hmm.
As of lately, I really fail at it. But that's
You
not the point.
get
The
back
point
up.
is,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly right. I have to have that conversation with myself where it's like, hey, stop being weak,
Right.
and make it happen.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm very results oriented, so I need a goal out in front of me to go after. So like maybe that's a race or an event. Maybe for you might be jujitsu where you've got a competition you've got to get ready for.
Oof.
If you know you have a competition and you're going to be face to face with another human and one of you is going down, you're going to want to hit the gym because in that moment you're not going to want to regret not going to the gym, right? You're going to say,
Right.
"Did I give it everything I have?"
Yeah, I have never entered a jiu-jitsu tournament yet.
Ooh,
Um,
I
my
have.
my my kid wants me to do it. He's competed a few times. He's done really well. He's
Uh-huh.
super impressive. But man, is he in good shape for 10
Mhm.
years old. And I'm watching him and I'm like, I know how tired I am just at the academy. I
Yeah.
can't imagine going
Hmm.
against another human right now. I would I would embarrass myself for sure. Because
Harrison,
you see my big butt at 6'5", 260, 270 pounds, and then you see me get humbled really quick as soon as cardio gets involved.
right. Well, I'm not a wrestler or a jujitsu guy. I would love to be. My daughter started wrestling and she loves it.
Oh, cool.
It is a great way to get in shape. Like pushing against like some things just will make you a monster. So pushing against other human beings, because you have to push as hard as you possibly can. You go to failure basically with all their little muscles. And climbing. Those two things will make you so strong so fast and it doesn't
And
require
swimming,
special equipment. Yeah, swimming.
swimming too.
Hmm.
I will probably drown if I ever try to swim again.
You need a snorkel. Just have it always out of the water.
Yeah,
Right?
perfect. And
Yeah.
maybe some floaties. I'll steal my daughter's floaties.
Oh yeah, they have the you could yep. You wear a wetsuit. The wetsuit will keep you buoyant. So you
Oh,
don't
okay. Yeah.
yeah, like a
We're finding hacks. That's good.
yes. Excellent, man. Well, that's so cool. I would love to try jiu-jitsu. So the reason why I'm talking about weightlifting is because I have this, I guess I don't have a football behind me. No, I don't. I started playing Australian football. Have you ever heard of that? Australian football?
No, is it like rugby?
It's kind of like rugby,
Okay.
but it's like I would say it's closest to rugby combined with soccer, like those two
Hmm.
together. And we just had a tournament last week where we went to Tucson, and it's the national tournament, and it's the American League. It's more like a rec league. more like older people like me trying to get back into sports or college kids that just got to college, one of those two. And man, it's so much fun to be in a sport, but I want to do good in the field, so I have to exercise. I have to do that.
Yeah. And then you get to a point where you're playing on a team, you don't
Yeah,
want to let your teammates down.
right,
So
exactly.
it turns into a whole different thing.
Hmm.
Last season, I was the strength coach for my oldest lacrosse team at the high school.
Oh, wow, nice.
And so there's always going to be kids that come in and just mess around.
Hmm.
And that's fun. That's cool. I get it. You want to have fun,
Yeah,
but winning is way more fun than anything else.
it is fun. It's fun to be the winner. Yeah. Uh-huh.
So taking the time to explain that to some of these, high school kids, it's like,
Right.
dude, you're not in here just for you.
Hmm.
You're in here for the person over here, your person over there, right? Your teammates, because if they see you working hard, it's contagious. They're going to work hard. And as everybody gets bigger, faster, stronger, we're going to put a better product on the field.
Yeah.
And
It,
then all of a sudden you start winning, and that's pretty freaking fun.
right. Yeah. Well, and the winner, people that have a winning mentality, they don't want to be around people that are, putting in, are being lazy or just putting in half time. So you create that culture. You're going to create one culture or another. You're going to either create the winning culture or the loser culture. And we
Mhm.
want that in all the aspects of our life, right? We want that in our business too. I don't want to work with people that aren't serious about what they're doing. Like, yes, we want to have fun, but I am a professional. I have high standards. I don't want to do a bad job, right? And so that
Yeah,
translates to,
absolutely, man.
yeah,
Like winning is more fun than anything else.
right.
You heard me say that a few times already, but like, okay, when you sit down with a couple buddies or whatever, and you guys are catching up, it's cool to share wins,
Yeah, right.
right? That's the fun stuff to share with your friends. When you're surrounding yourself with other people who are achievers, doers, people who have ambition, like
Mm.
let's talk about the wins that we've already won,
Yep,
and let's talk about the wins to come. Like,
right.
let's start planning for that. Like, dude, I'm working on some big stuff right now. What do you got going on? Okay, boom, boom, boom. They
Mm.
start to get excited for you because
Yeah,
they like to be associated with winners.
right. Well, and then you get more ideas like, oh, I can take that over here and I can add a new nuance or a new way to
Yeah.
use my information. Yep.
Yeah. And when you start being around people like that,
Mhm.
what's funny is we talk about that scarcity mindset, abundance mindset.
Right.
Everyone's always trying to help each other,
Hmm. Yeah.
right? You're not going to see people who are doing well,
Hmm.
like hoarding that information. They
Right.
want to share it. They're okay with giving you tips. They want to make an introduction,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, sometimes it's where you can't get those people to stop giving advice. So like, come
Yeah.
on, let's do more. And it's like we can only implement so many good ideas at a time,
Like,
right?
give me one takeaway. Okay, cool. Let me go implement. Because if you're not implementing, it's all a waste
That's true.
anyways.
That's true. You didn't want to just come around ideas. You actually want effectiveness. So I had a couple more questions. Um, but we're probably I think we're getting close to our time. So I do want to ask this though. You get a lot of problems that people bring to you and mistakes that they make. So do you have like a recurring problem that you just constantly are addressing that your clients do that you are always fixing? Like what's some of the things that come to you on a regular basis for your clients or prospects?
Hmm. So when they're a client for a while, there's typically not problems,
Okay.
right? Because they've bought in to how we do things.
Uh-huh.
Um, I'd say the biggest problem that people come and they start with is like, dude, just trying to time the market, trying to
Mhm.
pick stocks,
Oh,
trying
stock
to
picking. Oh, that's got to be fun. They give you advice, be
it's
like, hey, how about
it's
Amazon?
not fun.
How about Apple?
Say, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? And I tell them, you already own that. Well, what do you mean? I don't see it in my portfolio. Right. You own it in these three funds. This is how much is, of percentages of the portfolio. Are you trying to add to it? Because then we're not going to be as diversified. Oh, no, no, no. We already own it. That's cool.
Yeah.
Right. So it's a lot of that.
So wait, Mike, you're not going to give us like pro stock picks that we should,
No,
go
believe it or not, no, this is all for education and entertainment, comedic purposes.
Right.
This is none of this is financial advice, right?
That's right. Disclaimer, disclaimer.
I should have done that at the beginning. But
That's okay.
so it's really, and this is something that we run into with high achievers actually
Hmm.
and business owners is you've always done it yourself. So
Yeah.
it's so hard to let go of the reins
Right.
and give control, if you will, to somebody else, to
Hmm.
trust somebody else.
Oh
Doesn't
yeah.
matter if they've been doing it for, 10, 15, 20, even 30 years. You have survived and gotten to where you are based off of your own sweat. So
Yeah. Blood,
that
tears,
that
sweat, and tears.
that next step of letting go and not trying to outsmart everything, right?
Hmm.
That's another level where entrepreneurs struggle sometimes,
Hmm.
especially if you've done well, right? Is ego.
Mm.
And people ask, like, well, how come we don't pick many individual positions? We don't have a lot of individual stocks because we're introducing a new variable at that point, and
Hmm.
it's ego, right? If I introduced this idea to you, this stock that I think would be a good opportunity for you to buy, my interest is I want to be right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
If you came to me, say, hey, Mike, let's buy you know, Coinbase or this or that, right? Or Nvidia. And you go,
Yeah, they're making robots, so of course.
yeah. Um, you want to be right.
Yeah.
So you're going to have this loss aversion that's getting in the way. Your ego's at play, where you knew it was better to just set that thing on fire and sell it a long time ago.
Well, now
Which,
I'm invested in it. Like I made the decision, so
right?
it would look bad for me if I was
Yes.
wrong, right? Correct?
So it's not just a financial investment at that point. It becomes an ego investment,
Yeah.
and a little bit of your pride, your reputation, even though it's only one person that's going to know about it. Like those become real factors where we get in our way.
Right.
And when we start to work with someone like myself, coach, professional, to really set those guide rails of we're not doing that.
Hmm.
Okay. If you want to do it, know that that's not part of the plan. Know that that's not part of the strategy that's going to help you be successful. And if you do it, you're on your own. Okay. Like I'm not signing off on this. It
Yeah.
could be a smart move. That doesn't mean I'm going to sign off on it because it's not according to the plan.
Right. You've got a plan and you want to follow the path. And you've got
So
to look
it's
at everything as a whole, not just any one individual
right.
stock or pick. It's got to
Yeah.
fit together, work together.
Yeah, for sure. And so the biggest thing working with business owners is, well, that's a problem,
Hmm.
is thinking that they can do more than they can and
Yeah.
thinking that they're smarter than they are,
Right. There was a business owner that I was helping him out, and he didn't do any investing in the stock market. And he said,
which is also not smart.
yeah, right. He was totally out of it. He kept all his money in his own business, and he was good at his own business, but that's very risky, and
Mhm.
it had its problems. But he said, I bet I could pick really good stocks. And I said, all right, fine. Here's an app. I forget what company it was, but I said, here's an app. You have a login now. I gave him a login. Go ahead, pick your stocks if you're so confident. And then when it came time, he was like, you know what? Maybe I don't know anything about stocks. I just think I do.
Yeah. Like you could think you know everything about football. You played football for 20 years, this or that. Go ahead and pick the games this week.
Yeah, who's going to win the Super Bowl? Yeah. Yeah, pick all the games this week. There's only 32 teams, so 16
Yeah.
games. I'm sure you'll
Yeah.
get 16 out of 16.
Sure of it. Yeah.
Are you a football follower? Do you have any who's your team that you follow?
I'm a Tampa Bay guy.
Oh,
Yes. So
they destroyed the Saints yesterday.
yeah, they look pretty good. Thank
Yeah.
God. Well, okay, they look good on defense.
Uh,
The offense looked completely inept, and they did just enough to win the game.
hmm I I thought they looked good on both sides of the ball, but you're probably more critical than than
Yeah,
non.
man. I mean, we got Baker Mayfield back there just trying to run around for his life.
Yeah.
We got
Oh,
no offensive weapons.
mm,
It's pretty tough. I don't feel bad for him. He's getting paid well, right?
yeah.
But he should be
Can't
in a
feel
much
bad.
better
Yeah.
position than he's in.
Yeah. You can't feel bad for millionaires that are playing a game, right?
It's tough. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your team?
Oh, well, I'm a Buffalo Bills fan, so it
A
fits.
shocker, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it fits with the Buffalo. Um,
Uh-huh.
but I grew up in New York, and so they were the closest team uh,
Nice.
to me. Are you in Florida? Where do you live?
I am. Yeah. Well, I'm in Sarasota, Florida.
Oh, yeah.
So we're about an hour or so away from Tampa.
So that makes sense. Yeah. I am always baffled when people love a team that is like thousands of miles away from them.
Yeah. It happens to be like the Cowboys fans more than anything, right? You're
Yes.
like, have you ever even been to Texas?
Right.
Like, oh, well, my family likes it's America's team. Stop. It's
Right.
not America's team. If you say it over and over, it doesn't make it true.
That's right. Right. hmm
They
I
end up being on TV the most, sure, because Jerry Jones and whatever other crap. But like at the end of the day, they don't win playoff games. They don't win championships. Nobody cares.
Any Dallas Cowboy fans listening to this are gonna be like, no, I don't like these guys.
Listen, you don't like it because I'm telling the truth. I'm sorry. That's
Oh,
one of the things I do for my clients. I tell the truth.
I'll be
Okay.
honest.
I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm going
Right.
to tell you what you need to hear.
Yeah.
What you need to hear is if you don't live in Texas and
Mhm.
you're a Cowboys fan and you've never lived in Texas, your
Yeah.
family's not from Texas, why the heck are you attached to this team? Find
Right.
something else to do. Find something better. Come on, man.
I think it's okay if they have some kind of attachment to Texas.
Right.
That's fine. That's
Yeah,
understandable. Of course, it's
absolutely.
also a team in Houston. Like, what's wrong with the Houston Texans? If they even have Texan in the name
Yeah, absolutely. Plus they're a little more fun to watch right now.
right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
CJ Stroud looking good.
the Cowboys are in a very competitive division. Most of the times they're competitive.
Well,
Eagles will be,
so is Houston now, apparently.
yeah.
Indy's what, 7-1 or something like that?
Indy's on top of that division very
Yeah, crushing it.
definitively. Yeah, they are crushing it. But I do like sports. It's really fun. I don't follow college. There's too many teams for me to follow.
So that's the weird thing with me is I don't follow college as much.
hmm
I've got my few teams that I follow, but I think they're way more fun to watch
hmm Yeah,
because there's more on the line for them. It's like their future, right?
right.
Whereas a lot of these guys in the NFL, they've made their money, man. They're hanging out, they're good. Also, I wish the NFL would adopt college overtime.
Yeah, I love college overtime.
Like, oh
They
my
look
God,
at the
it's the
ball.
best thing in sports.
Yeah, we could just let's go to the end zone. You get four down, right? Four downs to do
Yeah,
something with it. Yeah.
yeah. And then you do it again and
Yep.
again.
Yep.
I don't care if there's 7 overtimes, which I think we had last year. It was like a 7 overtime game. It was crazy.
It's fun. I've been to those, in person. It's amazing. It's like everything matters.
Whereas in the NFL, you got to worry about if time's going to run out. Like,
Right.
man.
Speaking of the Cowboys, they have a tie this year, don't they?
Yeah, I think they tied Green Bay.
Could have been.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, cool. All right, so we should wrap it up. But
Yeah, cool.
what's
I appreciate you having me, man. This has been fun.
yeah,
It's cool to get into more stuff than just business, right?
yes,
Like I know people listen to it for business, but
right.
there's the entertainment level too,
hmm
right? We're all humans. So being able to, talk about sports a little bit, weightlifting,
hmm
being able to have this as a platform to share a bit of our faith.
Right.
Like it's cool to be able to touch it all, man. And so I
Yeah.
really enjoyed it.
Well, how do people get a hold of you? Like I know you have an Instagram handle.
So yeah, big thing is, the Instagram. So at Mike Tutcher. Um, obviously from a professional standpoint, a lot of people like to use LinkedIn.
Mm,
Um, but yeah, between, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, I'm pretty easy to find. I mentioned my dad, so that is Mike Tutcher Senior.
okay.
So when people
Yeah.
are looking for me, you're gonna see another Mike Tutcher. Like, he looks a little older than he sounded. That's weird.
We've done the
You know,
podcast, right?
I thought the way he sounded, he should be a little bit more better looking, but so there is two of us,
hmm
and that stud is not the same person as me. So you're gonna have to look for the younger, better looking version with the beard.
Awesome. Well, great, Mike. Wonderful to have you on.
I appreciate you, man. Thanks for having me. And yeah, I'm glad we took time to do this.
Yeah,
Appreciate
take
you.
care, and God bless.
God bless, man. Thank you.
This is Waste to Wealth, a podcast about turning your waste hauling business into a profitable, scalable, cash flowing machine. And now, here's your host, Michael McCall.